All right, this is my forever ongoing dobro restoration. I've had the bridge setting with a special hardening resin for 3 days now. Just looking at this thing, dying to be able to play it. So while I'm stringing it, I'm gonna show you how you string a U-nut. And I got my rope, my strap tied in right there. I hate when people put a strap fastener over here. Don't do that. Use a rope on an acoustic. Acoustic's got enough holes in it already. This is, of course, a resonated acoustic. Dobro would be like a metal steel body one, which would be made by National Guitar or some other company. There was actually one of the inventors, his name was Mark Dobro, and that's why they got the nickname Dobro. So you call this a resonated guitar, not a dobro. But most people are going to call it dobro anyway, so let's say tomato and call it a dobro. Sort of like every bandage you put on your finger isn't actually a Band-Aid. Or every tissue you ask for. You might ask for a Kleenex, but you'll get a tissue. Anyhow, all right, so slotted headstock. This is how I did it first. Because this nut's free-floating, it's not glued or anything. You start with the outside, then the inside. This is wider than the neck by maybe a little more than 1/8 of an inch on either side. The good thing is, if you're a little lower on the low string, you can always, when you're going to be finger fretting, you can always push up and in. You're going to be using slide on this. This is the way this nut is set up. You're going to be using slide on this more than you're going to be using notes, but you will use them here and there. Did a beautiful repair on this ebony fretboard. I thought I was going to have to scrap because I had so many cracks, but I used my own method of mixing wax sticks for repair that do harden up after a while, and some of the actual sanded ebony wood, mixing that wax and that wood together and set it in there, oiled it, did it again, did it again, did it again, and then eventually put some glue and sanded it. It looks really good right now. And I didn't actually have to recolor it after I oiled it. The black color came back to it. I can still see a little glue flashing right there, but you know, I'm not worried about that. I just want to play her. I've been looking at her forever. I got everything polished up, all the hardware good. All right, so anyway, this is how you're going to start stringing it. And then from there, I don't have to tell you. You know how to put a string through a loop and go through and this and that. But with a U-nut, this is definitely the best way to do it. Start with your high and your low and go from there. If you're like me, you've adapted some sort of a tuner machine. Don't go ripping those things off. Even on low, this thing has a lot of torque. I usually try to do this when the battery's low. I'll even let the battery die out. It's just so much quicker to wind it up. All right, I'm not going to show you the whole stringing thing, but now you know how to use these U-nuts. They're not commonly found anymore, but there are people who make them. I've seen them made. I've bought them before, and in guitar stores, they'll come across them. They'll sell them used. This wood looks silver. It's worn down to the brass. This one's been on this guitar for a while. I don't believe it to be original to it, but it's going to leave that action up high enough where I can do a lot of nice sliding. All right. So I'm going to do some videos where I play this, and then I'm going to go back to these videos that I've made where what this looked like when I got it, what it looks like now, what I did to fix it, all of that stuff. So Red Roadie signing out.